Hey folks, welcome back to another Bargain Bike Basement episode. Today I've got a tune for you, finally a jig we're covering, called Mist Covered Mountains, or the Mist on the Mountains, whatever. It's kind of a jig adaptation of the melody to the Scottish song Hí Mína Morfana, meaning I see the great mountains. So anyway, this has a lot of opportunities for variation in it, and it's a fun tune to start kind of digging into jig rhythm. So here's the first part of the tune. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually doing a glottal stop twice before hitting that strike on the A. So and you can tongue that as well if you're more comfortable tonguing, but I like the fullness of kind of a glottal stop, because you don't get air from the lips, you just get the sound of the flute. Tonguing is kind of, so I prefer to use glottal stops there because I prefer kind of the fuller tone. But if you want to add a little bit of kind of percussion texture, you can tongue it as well. But I prefer to save tonguing for very specific circumstances. So anyway. So you can also do a little BCD walk up there. But if you want to be a little bit more square with the jig rhythm, you can just do that. So nothing too tricky about that, but there's some other stuff you can do with it. So let's say we're going around on the second time. And here you can do a little kind of, I never know what to call these things, but kind of a, I don't know, a little callback to something else. So the original version. And then with the variation. So just a little thing you can do there. You can also pop up to the high A for a little emphasis. Suppose you could do that too. So now for the B part, I prefer to use a pickup note of the B before the high A, because that's the high A for some reason a little bit jarring in this tune. Instead of, I don't know, I don't like after. I don't know, it just sounds a little disconnected to me. So pickup note. I don't really do too much there. Or I might slide off the G. So you can do it a couple different ways. But I think the most important part of this tune is getting the jig rhythm. So how I'm doing that is kind of the way Mary Bergen plays on the whistle, where she breathes on the first note of a phrase, so kind of the dum, triple T, whatever you want to call it. On the first note, you have no articulation. In the second two, you either have an embellishment like a cut or a strike or whatever, or two articulations, whether it's from your tongue or from your throat. So that's throat, that's tongue. I find that tonguing is a little more apparent in the upper octave. So for some people, glottal stops are a little easier to get in the low octave, and so people tend to use tonguing in the high octave and glottal stops in the low octave. But I encourage you to try doing glottal stops in the high octave. Because it just makes for that really nice kind of delicate articulation that is really nice in jig. So. And at least in the tin whistle community, there's kind of a misconception that you shouldn't tongue on the tin whistle, and there's kind of this whole, I think, complex about it being played like a recorder. But actually, like great players like Mary Bergen and many others actually do tongue quite a bit. So not as common on the flute, but especially in jigs, it helps to really set up that rhythm. So the first note of the phrase being a little bit longer typically, so long, short, short, but don't stretch that out too much or it'll turn into like a strass play or something. So anyway, I guess that's a short episode, but here's how I sometimes play this tune. So anyway, not my best playing, but I hope that gives you some ideas of what to do playing around with this tune, and I'll see you on the next one.